Hi everyone and welcome to today's English class on character development. Let's look at what character development means. Character is the person or animal in my story, and development means how do they change. So character development means how does the person or animal in my story change. So let's take a really small example to understand what exactly is character development. Over here I have 3 Pokemon. In the first picture I have Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is a pre-evolution Pokemon. As time passes, I can see the Bulbasaur evolves into a Ivysaur. And this Pokemon has a bud on his back. This little pink thing that you can see is the bud on his back. And finally, in the second stage, the second evolution, the Ivysaur is now evolved to a Venusaur. This Venusaur has a flower on its back. And so as you can see, the Pokemon in this picture have gone through different stages of evolution. And from the first picture to the last picture, you can see how this character, the Bulbasaur, has changed by the end picture and now has a big pink flower on its back. So that's exactly what character development is. In character development, we ask ourselves a few questions. How is the character at the beginning of the story? In the first picture, I can see that the Bulbasaur has a green bud on its back, but the flower is nowhere close to blooming. But by the end, the Venusaur has a fully bloomed pink flower on its back. So that brings me to my third question. How does the character change? So the character changed by not having any flower at the beginning to having a flower at the end. So at the beginning, the Bulbasaur was entirely green, but by the end, it has a pink flower on its back. So once again, we are looking at 3 questions. How is the character at the beginning? How is the character at the end? And how does the character change? Let's use this understanding of character development and look at a story. So in this first story, all I want you to do is listen with Didi. Didi is going to be doing most of the talking over here, and I want you to pay attention as Didi is speaking. You will also be helping Didi solve a few questions after we have read this story. A dog and her pups, means little dogs, puppies, lived on a farm where there was a well. The mother dog told the pups not to play near the well. One of the naughty pups decided to explore the well. He went to the well and looked inside, as you can see in this picture. In the well, he saw his reflection. Reflection means he saw his own face in the water in the well. And he thought it was another dog. The pup saw that the other dog in the well, which actually was just his reflection, it was his own image in the well. The pup saw that the other dog in the well was doing whatever he was doing. And so the pup got very angry for imitating him. So the pup thought that the reflection in the well was imitating him or copying his actions. So he got very angry. The pup dog decided to fight with the dog and jumped into the well, only to find no dog actually there. He barked and barked until the farmer came and rescued him. Rescued means saved. The pup had learned his lesson. he realized he needed to be more careful and listen to his mother. So, coming to our questions, what does the pup do at the beginning of the story? So, at the beginning of the story, I know that the mother dog has told the pup not to go near the well, but at the beginning of the story, the pup is naughty and goes to the well. What happens to the pup at the well? I know when the pup goes to the well, he looks inside the well and he sees a reflection. He sees his own reflection, he sees his own face in the water. But he is confused and he thinks that there is another dog inside. So he decides to fight that dog because he thinks that dog is copying all his actions. So the pup jumps into the well and he is unable to come out of the well. So what happens to the pup at the well? The pup jumps into the well and is in danger because he cannot come out of the well, he cannot save himself. And finally, how did the pup realize he needed to be more careful? So, at the beginning of the story, the pup was naughty. And what happened at the end? At the end, the pup fell into the well and he was in danger. And finally, a farmer came and rescued him. So, the pup realized he needed to be more careful because he realized he had made a mistake, and he realized because of that mistake his life was in danger. So, the pup realized his mistake and thought that he should not go near the well. So, what is the change I am seeing in the character? So, my character over here is my pup or my baby dog. At the beginning of the story, he was very naughty. But in the story, he managed to fall into a well by mistake. And because of that, by the end of the story, the pup is no longer naughty. He has learned his lesson, he has realized his mistake, and he knows that he needs to be more careful. So, my character development is that my pup, the character, went from being a naughty dog, a naughty pup who would do anything he wanted because he was curious, and by the end of the story, the pup becomes someone who is sensible and takes responsibility for their actions. Let's look at another story. This next story, Didi is going to help you by reading the story, but you are going to be solving the questions and writing down the answers on your own. Make sure you are paying attention. The boy who cried wolf. One day, a boy was watching over his sheep. He was very bored and wanted to play a trick. He cried out, "Wolf! Wolf!" The villagers came running with their sticks, but found no wolf. The boy laughed. The next week, he repeated it. He cried out, "Wolf! Wolf!" and the villagers again came running. Again, there was no wolf. Again, the boy laughed. The villagers were furious. The next day, the boy suddenly saw a wolf. He cried out, "Wolf! Wolf!" No one came to help. The boy went home crying. The wolf had taken away one of his sheep. From that day, he promised never to lie again. If you want, you can take the time to pause and read the story one more time before we go to the questions. We have 3 questions that we are going to answer. Let's remember that the questions we are answering are going to be about our character, the boy, and how the boy changes in the story. The first question: what did the shepherd boy do when he was bored? What did the boy do because he was feeling bored? Take time to pause this video, copy down the question, and write your answer. Question number 2. What happens when the boy sees the wolf? Take time once again to pause, copy the question, write down your answer. Okay, question number 3. And this is the question where you really need to think about how the character changes. Which of the following do you think is another suitable name for the story? Why? So the current title of the story is The Boy Who Cried Wolf. You have to decide which of these 4 options is another title that is a good title for this story. You also are going to be writing down why do you think this is a good title, the one that you have chosen or selected. Take time to pause this video, copy the question, and write your answer. Excellent. Once you are done, you can submit your work to Didi, and Didi is going to be very happy to check what you have understood. I look forward to learning more with you and hope that today you were able to understand how characters in the story change from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. Thank you.